Hey y'all, Stretch More back here again, and today just want to talk about a quick reminder. You're probably wondering what is that reminder. Just want to remind you all that time flies. I was recently at a viewing of a body, for a funeral, and we're having conversations with people that we hadn't seen in a long time, and one of the main things that was stated is that, man, time flies. This is going by too fast. Time needs to slow down. And I always tell you all, man, at the end of the day, time is something that we genuinely don't completely understand. It's something that we have tried to grasp an understanding of, but it just can be difficult to really truly conceptualize. Even with things such as eternity, the idea of eternity, forever, perpetual state. One of those things, it's one of those things where that's difficult to understand. I know with me, I sometimes have had even panic attacks over that idea of eternity. And that's a real fear. I believe it's called a perophobia. And, it's this fear of eternity. And, it's just sometimes it's so difficult to grasp, lasting forever, living forever. And it's ironic because one of the main things that we've seen with villains in certain comic book related stories or fantasy stories or movies and cartoons and all these things, there's always this villain that goes, I want to live forever. I want to be immortal, And sometimes you kind of think about, what's the cost of that, But to really get back on topic, I just want to remind you all that, look, man, time flies. Take a moment to really live in the now, really understand that what you have is right now. What you have is literally you, in this moment. And, sometimes I feel like all of us as human beings, and I'm even myself, can be guilty of this. We sometimes plan too far ahead into the future and we haven't even gotten there yet, and I feel like sometimes when we plan ahead too far, we sometimes accidentally and, indirectly stress ourselves out. Sometimes we sit back and go, man, okay, I need to plan for this. I need to plan for that. And in the future, I'm gonna make sure I do this. And oh yeah, I got to make sure I do this. But then you got to sit back and realize the future's not even there yet. You haven't even got there. You don't know what could happen in the next day, the next minute, the next hour, the next week, the next month, the next year, the next decade. You don't know what could occur. And that's one of the things that I have to remind myself of sometimes. It's like, man, dude, time is flying. But at the same time, let me realize that I got to live right now. I got to really live for that moment that I'm in right now, because everything could be gone within an instant. And with time flying as much as it is, I always say, it's a good reminder to really cherish those who you have right now. Tell your loved ones that you love them. Say I love you. Even if it's a friend, say, I just want to remind you I care about you. I'm always there. You never know how a simple, phrase of kindness like that, or, a simple I'm thinking about you. You never know how they can impact someone's life and impact their day. They could be having a terrible day, but you saying that could brighten their day 10 times further than what's even going on at the moment. And it's also something that I really have to grasp as well, because sometimes, time flying, it can be kind of stressful, because it's like, man, like I have plans that I want to achieve, I have things I want to accomplish, but you do have to really settle down and really understand, like, dude, let me focus on now, because I can't be stressing about something that could completely turn around for the better, and that's something that I could definitely openly admit to struggling with, is, sometimes thinking that this one thing is going to affect me for so much more longer, but then it may not. And that's another thing about time flying, is that, man, focus on that now, because when we sometimes get too far ahead of ourselves, we inadvertently, and we just accidentally stress ourselves out, and we lose control of now. We lose focus of now. We lose direction, So simply put, you all, time flies, man. Appreciate the time you have now. Appreciate those that you have right now. Dedicate your life to really living in the moment. Don't step too far ahead. There's nothing wrong with planning, okay? Don't get me wrong. I definitely have plans I want to accomplish, things that I want to do when I get older, and this and that. Lord's will, say I get married, I have kids that I want to have for sure. I want to get married, that's one thing, but it's like, hey, let me see what's going on right now. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's an issue or problem talking about the future. It's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying don't lose that grip of reality. You know, don't lose that noticing or that attention to detail of the current moment. Don't miss out on that, because you never know what could happen. You just don't know. And that's, you know, it's something that can impact you as an individual, but it can also impact the group. It can impact a variety of people from various backgrounds. But I just want to remind you all, yes, time does indeed fly. But it's Trismore back here again. Think about the now, live in the moment, live in the now, and don't be afraid to also think about the future as well. Just don't stress yourself out. I'll see you all later. Peace.